Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video, I wanted to talk about the Yskera Oddities. Basically, it's just a small item that you can purchase from the Dragon Scale vendor. And yeah, within here is contained some pretty interesting stuff. Nothing too wild, but there is some pretty interesting items you can get here. Yskera Vault keys are one of them. Untapped Forbidden Knowledge is the other, but there's a pet you can get that has about a 1.5% drop rate called Shaggy, which is super duper helpful. And yeah, beyond that, you can pick up the Primalist gear. That's the items that you get, the gear that you can get, and you can get some pretty decent junk that can also obviously get you some money. So overall, I just wanted to kind of take a look at it and see whether it's worth you investing your extra elemental overflow into. Now, full disclaimer, you can't sell the pet, so that immediately kind of reduces the value of the sack of oddities because you can't really make money off of it. With such a low drop rate pet, it's kind of unlikely. But you can get elemental overflow back and you can make some decent gold off of the junk. I've spent 50,000 elemental overflow here to buy 25 of them. And I just wanted to see basically what we get and essentially just kind of show you guys whether there's value in the sack of oddities. And quite frankly, well, there you go, you got the pet, the 1.5% drop rate pet, excellent. But yes, essentially, beyond Yskera Vault keys, I don't think there's a lot of value in the sack of oddities. 50,000 elemental overflow is roughly around 35 or so bosses on the Isles if you don't include quests. And it can take quite a while to amass. It's taken me 2 weeks to get the 125k or so that I required to obviously do my mount and my pet from the vendors. So it does take a while to get. And it's not necessarily the easiest currency to come across. Now, one cool thing is that the game does tend to refund you, which is obviously super duper interesting. But yes, basically your main reward that you're getting here, as you can see, is your Yskera keys. We've got one piece of gear. The gear, I feel like, isn't what you want to get this for. There's no point. You can get plenty gear simply by running the stages, so this doesn't feel like it's necessary. And then of course we got some junk. That junk sells for around 1,700 gold, so it's not bad. It's not necessarily amazing. We're not getting a huge amount of gold from this. We're not getting 10k gold for every 50,000 elemental overflow. We're looking at like we're getting 2,600. Now, obviously, we are getting refunded some back, and we are getting more attempts at keys and items, which is good. But again, like I said, because the pet is soulbound, it is a bit unfortunate that, you're unable to sell it. Because being able to sell the pet, weirdly enough, is honestly worth, like, at least sizable gold. Could be worth 2,000 gold or so. And this would increase the value of the sack of oddities. But yeah, overall, I think it's at least just interesting to see what you get out of the sack of oddities for players who obviously were wondering. But it's a great source of Yskera Vault keys. I think if anything, that is definitely what it is. We got 12 Yskera Vault keys and we opened around about 38 of these. So it's around a 30% ratio, which I think is pretty decent. And I think that gives us a sizable sample. Getting some untapped upgrades is nice. The gear is okay, but like I said, those two things you get a lot from the rares that you would be killing to get the elemental overflow. The pet is cool and it does have a low drop rate, but pets are not the same level as mounts, at least not for me. One nice thing is you can go to your ults and hand them the Yskera Vault keys, which means that if you've been gearing up some ults and you want to give Vault keys to your main, or specifically to others, and you're looking for a reason to trade an elemental overflow, then I think this could be decent. But honestly speaking, your main value comes from the vault keys, so if you don't plan on going to the vault, there's no real reason. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know if you opened up some sack of oddities, if you've got Shaggy the pet, or yeah, just in general what you think. But that's it. Otherwise, bye.